inside my cruise control and overdrive. Need to take my baby for a ride. Ooh, she's like a smooth stretch of highway. Ooh, like a cool summer breeze. If my motor's running right, or we might lose control tonight. Got the shape I love to squeeze, looks that bring me to my knees. So please let it roll tonight.
Hi, everyone, and welcome once again to TW Teleproductions North Coast Game of the Week. The old Coal Docks in downtown Sandusky on Sandusky Bay. Great picturesque side of Sandusky Bay as we now take you to the site of tonight's ball game, Strobel Field at Foundation Stadium, where the Sandusky Blue Streaks will host the Lorain High Titans. And Sandusky coming in having a tough start in the season, losing their first two games of the year, giving up 48 points in each game, and it's been ugly.
This is the North Coast Game of the Week. Let it roll. Hi, Mom. Love you, miss you. Hi, Dad. Hi, Janet. Go Blue.
I'm so hurt that I've left off that list. Hi, Tommy. Yeah, and Tom. I mean, we all should be here. Man, that crane is fun because you can go anywhere in the area of the North Coast and that crane is sticking up in the middle of everything. Right on Perkins Avenue as they get the new plant all built up and ready to go. This is alumni band night at Sandusky, and they did some kind of fun stuff here as the band welcomes in members from years gone by, and we're looking at a team here right now that is in its second year under head coach Jamaris Brown. 7-5 last year in Jamaris's first year, and that was after going 0-3 at the start of the season. And now this year they're 0-2, so hopefully they can get that win on the board a little bit earlier this year, that first win, than what they did last year. And 2 games deep into the playoffs last year and upset Oregon Clay in the first playoff game, 35-28. That was after losing to Clay in the opener, 38-21. Previous games they've lost to Amherst 48-6 and Fremont Ross 48-14. And for Lorain, they're 1-1. They lost their season opener to Maple Heights 42-16 and then beat Elyria in week 2 41-14. Fan of the Week is up next, and it's brought to you by Snow Trails Winter Resort in Mansfield, and I think you're going to like this week's Fan of the Week.
I'm able to be here because I'm teaching.
That's Charlie. Watch the talent that Charlie's got.
And the best part is
Attaboy.
I'm able to be home more.
Performing for the camera. Verse 2 coming up. Give me that. Give me that.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been
A 1, a 2. That's Charlie. He's your Fan of the Week. It's brought to you by Snow Trails Winter Resort in Mansfield, one of the cuter Fans of the Week that we have ever had. There is the Sandusky High School marching band taking the field before the Big Blue gets ready to go in week number 3 of the high school football season. As you can tell from the glorious sunshine, a wonderful night for football at Strobel. Sandusky, not on Wisconsin, but on Sandusky. And of course, the SHS alma mater. Tell you what, that band is in awfully good tone for 2025. Blue Streaks getting ready to make their grand entrance. Second home game of the season as they opened up on the road at Amherst. The game was actually played in Avon Lake because Amherst is still getting turf put on their field. And then home last week against Fremont Ross. First quarter of tonight's game is being brought to you by Shores and Islands, Ohio. And by North Coast Handyman. Kaylee Gunlock, sophomore, to kick it off. Showing a pretty healthy leg and getting that ball down to the 20-yard line on the near side of the field. And it was nicely placed by Kaylee. As you put that ball at the sideline, that dude ran probably about 50 yards and only gained about 5. Now, Lorain's quarterback, as you're going to get a look at right here, wears number 9, David Whitaker. He is 5'10", 240 pounds. This is a young man right here in Toriano Allen, who is their star running back. In fact, he ran the opening kickoff in week 2 against Elyria, back for a kickoff from 90 yards away. Pass completion to Jazion Moore. And now Whitaker on the handoff on that jet sweep to Moore. Blue Streak tackle by Blaine Costanti. Toriano Allen keeps this drive going all the way down to the 8-yard line. And a first and goal, Allen. Knocked down by Terrell Ruiz. This game will take a long time to play. And a lot of the reason in this game were, we had a few injuries along the line, as Ruiz right there made a textbook hit to get Allen down. And he got shaken up right there. We had a lot of penalty flags in this game as well. Allen to the 5 to make it second down and goal for Lorain. Thanks to the following businesses for their support of the North Coast Game of the Week. J Bistro downtown, Chet and Matt's Pizza, Matthews Ford, Snyder Collision, WTF Rice, Sora and Oak Sushi and Whiskey Bar, Vita downtown Sandusky, Kaufman for Judge, Shores and Islands, Ohio, and Firelands Health. Here's the early look at our Civista Bank scoreboard. A false start was going to move them back to the 10-yard line to make it second down and goal at the 10. Here's a look at Whitaker. And I'll tell you what, for his size, 240 pounds, he moves pretty well. You'll see that more as the night goes along. Third down and goal on the 10. Ball ends up on the 6-yard line where it is fourth down and goal. Whitaker off the play fake. Not much there, and Sandusky is going to take over. Dale Johnson, senior quarterback for the Blue Streaks. First toss of the night, complete for Raymond Peak, and you're going to see a lot of Raymond as the night goes along, but that one was for -2 yards, second and 12. A little wrestling match for the football there between Johnson and Peak, and by the time they pulled it all out, it still ends up with a third down and long. But this is a read. Peak wants the ball, and Johnson says, you got pressure coming, give me that thing. But by the time he gets it, there's all sorts of defensive pressure all over the place, being led by Avery Martin, wearing number 17 for Lorain High. So 3rd and 15. Johnson up over the head of Isaiah Johnson and incomplete. So a 4th and 15 from their own 9. The kick, just a low line drive that's taken on the run. Return by William Jones brings it all the way down to the Blue Streak 7-yard line. The Blue Streak defense really on the spot right here. Toriano Allen spins for 3 down to the goal line, or down to the 4-yard line. There is a 2nd and goal. Allen once again to the 1. To 3rd down and goal. Blue Streak's been pretty tight on this series so far, but they'll need to really tighten it up here to keep the Titans out of the end zone. There's Big Witt. Allen. He made a nice cut that time. Tough angle to really see from there, but trying to get to the outside, he may not have beaten his defender. He decides to plant that foot and spin forward, and it was a good decision, which takes him into the end zone for the first score of the ball game. Watch out here. Streaks cover the outside well, forced to cut it in, and he scores 6 for Lorain. Halfway through the first quarter, and the Titans up on top. Extra point placement up and good. Jacob Rivera, the Titans kicker. And there's your Civista Bank scoreboard. And there's the crane across the street. Can't miss that thing anywhere. Look how high it is up over that light stanchion. Streaks will be getting the football back. And tell you what, Dante Ship Jr., he ran one back 97 yards for a score the week before. Every time he gets his hands on the football, it makes you get excited. Johnson with a pretty solid run on first down, but penalty flag brings him back on a holding call. And then a false start brings up a 1st down and 25. Second down and 25. Here's Dante Ship Jr. Good for just 5 to make it 3rd down and 20. It's almost like somebody didn't run the right pattern there. You ended 2 receivers in one location. It's a fumble on the punt reception, and the Titans are going to get marked all the way back to their 9-yard line, and then a delay of game will mark them back even further, giving them 1st and 14 back at the 5. See Whitaker kind of slinging that ball down the middle. 9-yard pickup. Out to the 19-yard line. Brandon Serrano on the reception for Lorain. An injury time out here in the first quarter while we give special thanks to the following local businesses. There's your Savista Bank scoreboard with Lorain in front 7-0 over the Blue Streaks. Under 4 minutes left in our first quarter. Whitaker handing off for J.L. Diaz. Third down and 1 on the 28. See that ball being jostled around a little bit. Fourth down and 1. And Diaz will pick up the first down. A bit of a gamble for Lorain, fairly deep in their own territory, but confidence in that offensive line comes through for him. Nice open field stop by Dante Ship Jr. right there. We'll take another look once again at the easiest way to tackle anybody, and that's get rid of their legs. Boom! Textbook stuff for Ship. Dante Ship Jr., as exciting a ball player as he is only a junior. I'm sorry, he's only a sophomore. Lots of great plays to look forward to out of Ship in the next couple of years. Pitch for Allen once again, and he will get chopped down. Not Allen, but Jazion Moore. Ship slowed the play up. Brings up a fourth down and 4 on their own 37, and they will go for it. And make it. And a whole bunch more for Diaz. However, penalty flag will bring that one back on a holding call. Now give him 4th and 14, and on the dropped snap from center, Whitaker throws incomplete, and that brings us down to the end of quarter number 1. Blue Streaks trailing at 7-0, but a lot closer than what they've been in the last couple of weeks. We'll see what quarter number 2 brings us next on the Game of the Week. Well, our second quarter tonight comes your way through the courtesy of Groff Funeral Homes in Sandusky, Milan, and Huron. Wake Up and Waffle, a brunchery, downtown Sandusky at the Marketplace. Here's Dale Johnson opening up the second quarter as the Blue Streaks take over on downs. Dale battles but doesn't come up with much. Streaks around their own 27-yard line. I should say on the Lorain 27-yard line. After Lorain gives up good field position. Shamaris Brown on your right with the headset on. Omar Aleo on the run for the Streaks. Alejo following as blockers. You see a flag that goes down there. It's another holding call. Way too many penalties in this contest by both teams. Streaks calling the timeout. And as they do, we'll thank the following businesses for their support. Hermes Parker Concrete, Snow Trails, Savista Bank, Matthews Ford, Cameo Pizza, S&H Blinds and Floors, Fresh Electric, Flynn Pie and Cruise, Toft Funeral Home and Crematory, Restore Pro, and Musicians Alley. Johnson showing the power that he has in his arm, and Dante Ship showing his shiftiness and getting wide open. Somebody blew an assignment. Johnson found him, put it right in the old breadbasket, as they say, and it all results in a Blue Streak score from 42 yards away. So the Blue Streaks with an electrifying start to this game, and they're scoring anyway. 42-yard pass play from Dale Johnson to Dante Ship Jr. Just a slight adjustment to the football, but it was well thrown. And sometimes you're so wide open, you just have to make sure that you don't mess that one up, and Ship was all over it. Kaylee Gunlock for the extra point. She was the backup kicker last year and a freshman star for the girls soccer team as well. She splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. Blue Streaks with the 2-play, 27-yard drive. There's Dante Ship. Dale Johnson giving them all the due credit. That combo right there helps tie the game at 7. Took just a minute 20 seconds on that 2-play scoring drive. Dante Ship Sr. right there. Pretty happy with what he just saw out of his young man. Unlock again, putting that ball toward the side of the field, and gives their specialty units a great opportunity to make that stop. 37-yard line is where Lorain starts this drive. Whitaker on the handoff. Once again, that's going to be Diaz carrying for 4 to make it 2nd down and 6. Diaz again for no gain that time, so it's 3rd down and 6 at the 41. Diaz, not much room because that hole was pretty well stuffed. Kamir Hunter. High snap, and the Blue Streaks down there to fall on the football, and it is Sandusky possession. On top of it for Sandusky, Terrence Randleman, and the Blue Streaks have great field position on the fumble recovery on the Lorain 28-yard line. The ball just squirting all over the place until finally Randleman, the young man that falls on it, wraps it up and gets Sandusky the possession again. 9:13 left in the second quarter, tied at 7. There's Raymond Peak. Uh-oh. Forgot something. Still on the loose. And for Lorain, it is Jemias Gaines on top of it. So Sandusky gets on top of a fumble, and then this just kind of drops out of the hands of Peak. Whoop. And we all know what happens when you try and fall on an oblong object. It just keeps squirting all over the place. First down and 10 for Lorain on their own 37 before a timeout is called, which gives us time to say thanks to the following businesses for supporting the North Coast Game of the Week. Leslie Murray Law, Fosco Cement, David F. Cook Funeral and Cremation Services, Diedrich Motors, Crush Wine Bar, Dockside Cafe, Pier Pub, Pizza House East, and O.E. Meyer Propane Division. Your Civista Bank scoreboard tells you the story, 7-7. An early standoff here in the second quarter. Oh, another penalty flag goes flying through there. You know, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm sure that there's a lot of fans in the stand that weren't saying the same thing, but it really was a well-officiated football game because you're going to see some chippiness start develop in this game, and that's when it gets really tough for the officials to really sit on and control. It was a false start, which will make it a 2nd and 10 on the Blue Streak 40-yard line. And the encroachment call against Sandusky makes it 2nd and 5 for Lorain, and watch Ruiz. Wasn't that played nicely? Terrell Ruiz, a 5'9", 164-pound junior. All over that coverage and interception. Let's watch again, and let's watch the blanket coverage of Ruiz and the perfectly timed jump to catch that football. Well done. So Ruiz gets possession for the Streaks. They'll take the football over on their 20. Michael Ott. Sorry, that wasn't Ott carrying the football. That was Davion Jackson, 5'9", 185-pound junior. We all know Sandusky had just a wonderful class of seniors last year, and there's still a lot of young kids growing into their roles on this football team. Jackson once again. Not much there. 3rd down 6. Whistles. False start, Sandusky. So now becomes 3rd down and 11. Streaks are back on their own 19-yard line. Fourth and 11, and Peak to kick it away. Fair catch called for and taken on the Blue Streak 45-yard line. And here comes Diaz, right into a wall of blue. Being led right there by number 58, Braden Peugeot. Dante Ship Jr. off to the races. 62 yards with the interception return for a score. This is Paving the Way, and it's brought to you by Hermes Parker Concrete Limited. This play right here will give the Blue Streaks their first lead of the contest. Look at Ship read that. Oh, that was a great shot by Tom Whaley. And you could see Ship read the quarterback, move to his target, step in front of the receiver, and off he goes. Paving the Way is sponsored by Hermes Parker Concrete Limited. Bad snap is going to lead to a failed extra point conversion, and that'll leave the score at 13-7 Blue Streaks with 4:49 left to play in the first half. Return for Lorain out to their 42-yard line.
No. Bro, I'll take the tackles any day.
Take the tackle, man. I'm trying to aim it for like a little bit higher now.
Kaylee Gunlock telling you all about her approach on the kickoffs. 2-yard loss for the young quarterback for Lorain as they have Jaden Whittington on the field. It's going to be a 3rd down and 9 coming up. Kaylee's got a strong foot. We saw that on the soccer field with her last year. And this year, just football. She says she's in a place where she feels loved and appreciated. These guys have really taken her in, which is nice to see. Special thanks are going out to the following local businesses for their support of the North Coast Game of the Week. Look at that pop. Oh, I'm telling you what, I think he hurt himself. That was, again, textbook stuff. And Dante Ship, as he was in week 1, shaken up, asked Jamaris Brown about him going into the game. He said they were just going to keep an eye on him. And then when he goes down again, you cringe because he really is a big key to the success of this Blue Streak football team. Streaks take over on the 46-yard line, winding our way toward halftime. Encroachment call against Lorain makes it first down and 5. And now second and 5 for Dale Johnson and company. And another whistle. Why not?
Good job, baby. Good job. Good job.
Look at Johnson. Great run downfield, but unfortunately, somewhere in there was an illegal shift. As we take another look here for Matthews Ford. A great effort by Johnson, and great effort on the other side of things by William Jones running him down to prevent a touchdown, but it would all go for naught anyway because of the illegal shift to make it a third down and 6. Streaks back out to midfield. A little bit too low for Peak. First half of this ball game saw 7 penalties on Lorain for 40 yards. Sandusky, 10 penalties, 63 yards just in the first half. There's William Jones, nice spin move. It's a first down on the Blue Streak 32. A 4-yard pickup for Diaz. Here's big Whitaker back on the field once again. His pass right through the arms of his intended receiver, Brandon Serrano. And the connection made for an 11-yard pickup for the Titans. Whitaker, he is pretty mobile for 240 pounds as he fires that one into the end zone, and that probably should have been a touchdown. But Serrano jarred around in the end zone by that Blue Streak defense, unable to hold on. It's a nicely thrown ball by Whitaker. Throwing on the run to Serrano right between all of that, but you had Ruiz back there. You had Lewis Johnson. And with all that defense pressure around, Serrano might have got a little bit antsy as far as his reception was concerned. Streaks come up with a big stop before halftime as it looked as though, still about a minute to go. Lorain had the ball down around the 17-yard line, but the Streaks hold them off and would take a 13-7 lead into the locker room at halftime. Not an artistic first half of play, but a successful one for the Streaks. 13-7. Dante Ship into the end zone. Streaks with a 6-point lead at the break. Tonight's third quarter is being brought to you by the Old Fish House. They're in Huron, and they've got knickknacks, snacks, and BS facts all over the place for anyone. The Old Fish House. And sponsored by Ehovie Career Center in Milan. I'm telling you what, if you've been watching that moon lately, it has been something else to behold. There's your Civista Bank scoreboard at halftime. Streaks with a 13-7 lead over Lorain, and Sandusky would get the ball first in the second half. A lot of penalties in that first half that we alluded to earlier, and you think, man, if we could only quit with the penalties, how much better could it have been than 13-7? So we'll see what the second half has to offer as Lorain goes off sides on the kickoff, and the Streaks will have Dante Ship Jr. on the run, taking the football, and Dante Ship Jr. all the way out to midfield. And that's where the Blue Streaks have the first drive to start the second half. Johnson off the fake, keeps for 10. First and 10 on the Lorain 40. Short pickup by Ruiz. The second down and 8. Raymond Peak all of a sudden starting to accelerate the run game a little bit. He carries for 12 down to the Lorain 28-yard line. And the Streaks all of a sudden, who only had one first down in the first half, already have 2 first downs here in the second half. And an inconsistent offense, but as you can see, the second half, that offense starting to find a little bit of their identity. Quick little jump pass, which was deflected, but caught by the Streaks and Isaiah Johnson. Picked up 3 at second down 7 on the 25. Keep an eye on the tackle made by Johnson. We also have a personal foul call, which advances the ball. And now Dale Johnson running it down to the 10. And as we talked about in the first half, the Streaks, you can hear the whistle in the background, becoming their own worst enemy once again. Instead of 2nd and 7 at the 10, now it's 2nd and 12 on the 15 after the false start. Johnson to the 11. 3rd down and 8. And speaking of number 8, what a great play fake, and now it's a foot race to the corner. And into the end zone for 6. Dale Johnson finishes off an 11-yard run, and the Streaks stretch their lead. This is Bringing the Heat, and it's brought to you by Gunlock Sheet Metal Works Incorporated. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and refrigeration since 1889. Watch this play fake by Johnson rolling to his right. Pulls it away from Peak, and look at the green space. I'll tell you what, Johnson to get hit the way he did leaning forward, go airborne as he did, and still hold on to the football for the athletic touchdown for the senior quarterback. That's Bringing the Heat for Gunlock Sheet Metal Works Incorporated in Sandusky, just south of the 5 Points intersection. Extra point kick, you could hear it in the background. Punk going into the line. Gunlock now to kick off. I'll tell you what, Haley was within just a few yards of sticking that thing down deep in Lorain territory. Nice defensive play by Michael Ott down the field. second down and 10 as the Titans start this drive on their own 20. Toriano Allen for a couple, and Lorain facing a 4th down and 2 on their own 28-yard line. And as they did earlier in the game, false start. And you can see the reaction of Diaz. What are we doing? Now 4th down and 7, changes everything around, and now they're going to try and punt. Diaz, great job getting that football down. Took a couple steps forward as a runner, which is why there was no roughing the kicker penalty. And the Streaks take over from the 49-yard line. Watch this going out of bounds. Boom! Johnson was already out. You got the penalty flags flying. There's not too much dispute about this. Once that ball is out of bounds, you don't deliver a blow like they just did. And you can argue all you want, but that won't change a thing. Watch Johnson basically giving up as he's out of bounds, and boom, that was Diaz that delivered the personal foul. Coach Newell calming the troops down a little bit. Don't worry, the official has it. A special thanks to the following local businesses for supporting the Game of the Week. First down and 10 for the Streaks on the Titans' 28-yard line. Raymond Peak. Not much there. It'd be a second down and 10. Johnson up top and down below, incomplete. And whistle. Hello. The Streaks trying to avoid any further flags being thrown against them. Shall we dance? Trey Maury Watson just saying, hey, I'm out of here. I didn't do anything. I'm done. I'm sure the official was jawing at him a little bit too. Guys, knock it off. Whistle blew. Some of the chippiness, though, that developed in this game. A third down and 10, and the Streaks can't get out of their own way once again. A false start makes it 3rd and 15. Ball thrown a little bit behind Johnson that time, making it 4th down and 15.
Boy, you didn't do nothing. What are you doing?
Well, everybody afterwards, don't do that. Don't be messing in that territory. Ship almost came up with a remarkable catch right here. The question would have been whether that went in or not. And of course, after Tyree Morales does a little bit of extra celebrating, he and Ship get tangled up. And now Lorain takes over on their 33-yard line, and they can't handle the ball. However, Michael Ott can, as he recovers the ball for the Streaks. The Streaks with a 19-7 lead will get the ball back on the Lorain 30-yard line. Take another look. Lorain had some problems on exchanges all night long. Snaps, bad exchange, Ott falling on the football right there and keeping Whitaker away from it. And Sandusky gets to take over on the Titans' 30-yard line. Johnson has to eat it for a 3-yard loss. Second down and 13, back on the 33. Now there's Raymond Peak. Carries for 11. Get him within a few yards of that first down, with the third down coming up at the 22. Steve Schuster, who I was working the game with on BCSN that night, started calling Raymond Sneaky Peak, as he just finds that little crease. Some pretty good balance there to get a few extra yards before finally being stopped by J.N. Kuzner. Premier Hunter looked as though he was cramping up a little bit on that last play. We'll take a break to thank some sponsors for supporting the Game of the Week. Erie Community Federal Credit Union, Pizza House West, Brady Signs, Cook Aluminum, Wendy's, Hartung Title, and Pizza House West. Dale Johnson. Third and 8 from the 17, and there he goes. Raymond Peak into the end zone from 17 yards away, and the Streaks will stretch their lead to 25-7. It looked like Peak had been stopped, and then all of a sudden sneaks right through. There's Sneaky Peak again to stretch the Blue Streak lead. Hey, what? It's a stark contrast to the first few weeks as far as the emotions on that Blue Streak sideline are concerned. Streaks going for 2 after a penalty against Lorain moved them closer, but they couldn't pick up the 1.5 yards. And the Civista Bank scoreboard stays locked in at 25-7 Sandusky.
Get set, Wayne! Wayne, what are you waiting on?
Lorain now on the comeback road from a rather deep deficit of 18 points. Blake Costante right down at the bottom of the pile for the Streaks. First and 10 from their 45-yard line, and Whitaker airing it out deep. But over the back shoulder of the intended receiver, Jazion Moore. Great defensive work for the Blue by Isaiah Johnson on the second to last play of the third quarter. Interception made out at midfield as you look at the play fake. And then Whitaker. Deep downfield. What a play by Johnson. Johnson, a 5'11 junior, 170 pounds. Athletic interception, and the Blue Streaks will take over on their own 34-yard line as we get ready to move to quarter number 4, and the Blue Streaks waltzing their way in with a 25-7 lead. Fourth quarter on our Game of the Week is sponsored by Hartung Title, supporting local athletics for generations. Hartung Title. And by Mike Zoll, Cold Creek Cleaning Services. There's the number to call. Hope you have a blessed day from Mike Zoll, Cold Creek Cleaning Services. Where's Charlie? Charlie will show him how to do it. Dale Johnson opening up the fourth quarter to Raymond Peak for a couple. Second down and 8 on their own 36-yard line. Streaks now can afford to use some clock. One of their best allies in this game right now. It's a 3rd and 6 on their 38-yard line. Yeah, that should have been caught as you hear the reaction on the sidelines. Trey Maury Watson leading to a Blue Streak punt, and Lorain taking over on their own 45-yard line. And they've got the dropsies as well. Even Jayzion Moore coming up out of there. So, man, it was right in my hands. This kid can run the football when he gets an opportunity. Cramping up going on for the Streaks and Tyler Weaver. So we'll say thanks to lots of local businesses for supporting us here at the Game of the Week. Pizza Brothers, Small City Tap House, Clag Brewing, coveted by Share, Huron Pizza House, and Gnome's Podiatric Medicine. Big mistake for Lorain. Snap over the head of the quarterback, taking it back out to the 30-yard line where it's 3rd down and goal on the 30. And now 4th and goal on the 30. And if you like big plays, folks, watch Dante Ship Jr. Right in front of you, and there he goes. 88 yards for a score as the Blue Streak band whips it up in the background. They'll watch again on 4th down and goal at the 30. They've got to get the end zone or nothing. And little did they expect something like this. Ship in the perfect place at the perfect time, follows his blockers, darts across the field into a seam, and it is time to turn out the lights. There he is, folks, the man of the hour. Haley Gunlock, after getting a good hold that time, boots one through. And the Blue Streaks have a 32-7 lead, seemingly comfortable advantage with 8:05 left to play. You can hear the bench in the background. Don't let him out of there. Lorain taking over on their own 28-yard line. There's that jet sweep. Well defensed by Isaiah Johnson. Second down and 12. 10-yard pickup to bring up a 3rd and 2. And now 4th and 2 on the incomplete pass, which was dropped. Yeah, I'm a little bit mystified as to why they didn't run this kid a little bit more often out of that quarterback spot. David Whitaker, 5'10", 240 pounds. And now Lorain has something brewing again. 1st and 10 down to the 22-yard line. 9-yard pickup, 2nd and 1 on the 13. Penalty flag goes down on the pass interference call, giving Lorain 1st down and goal at the 7. And on the ensuing play, it's Javion Harrison scoring from 7 yards away. And Lorain starts making a bit of a comeback. Extra point attempt. True to the mark. And now it is a 32-14 affair. Onside kick went about 2 yards. And for those of you who don't know football, the ball has to go at least 10 before it becomes a free ball. So Sandusky took over automatically on the Lorain 41-yard line. Johnson carries down to the 37. Raymond Peak being spun around. Incomplete pass, and it is Lorain football back once again, and a dropsy once again. Tyree Morales. And 2nd and 10 from their 37. Whitaker steps up. Incomplete to 3rd and 10. Throwing on the run that time. That was a good hookup with Brad Adamini. And now the extra point attempt after that long pass play of 37 yards for a score. Oh, 32-20 on our Civista Bank scoreboard as the Streaks now just try and eat the clock away. Using a lot of the time clock, the play clock. All happiness on the Blue Streak sidelines as they wind the time down to victory number 1 of the 2025 high school football season. 32-20 the final score, and the Streaks emerging victorious. And again, those emotions so much different than the first 2 weeks. Up next, your pancake player of the game for Sandusky Bay Pancake.
We switched our defenses a lot, and we just stuck to what we know. You know, we switched back to the defense that we've been running for years on years in the Sandusky Blue Streak program. And then on top of that, we just started playing, you know. After we lost to Fremont, it really hit us, you know, and it really made us bear down against everybody, you know. And continuing on, we just got to keep on winning and keep striving. Well, honestly, prayer, man. I give all glory to God, you know. I never show his glory, but he just blessed my body to be able to play today. Blessed my mind to be able to read the defense well, and I did what he told me to do. He guided me through it all, and we came out with the win, which is what we needed. We gonna keep going up, we don't plan on stopping back, going backwards. We gonna keep winning. You feel me? We gonna go somewhere. Well, I'm going to Sandusky Bay Pancake House.
That's somewhere he's going for some pancakes. Sandusky Bay Pancake House with our player of the game. Congratulations, Michael Ott. Great game, especially on the defensive side of the football. There you have it. Blue Streaks victorious 32-20 over Lorain High. Great job, Streaks. Keep the wins coming as they head to Parma Padua for their next encounter on Friday night. And next up on the game of the week, we'll be back at Strobel Field at Foundation Stadium as the unbeaten St. Mary's Central Catholic Panthers host Stryker in Northern 8 Conference football. We hope to have you along with us then for our next DW Teleproductions North Coast Game of the Week.